My name is Nenad Bogdanovic. I work for the Organization for European Programs and Cultural Relations. We run statutory the Creative Europe Desk of Cyprus. And I will be talking for some funding opportunities, next call for the book sector. Let me check if this works. Our organization is a governmental organization, practically established in 2020, mandated to operate the Creative Europe Desk, national contact point for citizens, equality, rights and values, SERV program, which has to do more with promoting European values among the civil society, local authorities and national authorities. Our organization also recently undertook the task of running Anna Lindh Foundation, National Network of Cyprus, and I will be dedicating a few slides at the end. And we also operate as national contact point for the new European Bauhaus, the policy chapter. A part of this, we participate in numerous European cultural policy and other networks, including the network of National Institutes for Culture called UNIC. So the Creative Europe desks exist in every program countries. Program countries are not only those presented in not only the EU member states, but also the other oh, it ran too quickly. I go back. We have also participation of candidate countries, EEA countries, and Eastern Partnership, as well as some Mediterranean countries. Our work, our job, our task is to promote the calls, funding opportunities of the Creative Europe program, to facilitate those who decide to apply, and of course to support the EU Commission in that term. Mr. Danilov, Vasilis, thank you for being with us, representative of EU Commission representation in Cyprus, to support the Commission in promoting the results, good practices, and so on and so on. A few words about Creative Europe in general. It is a fund, it is a program, living its second generation. It was established in 2014 and until 2020, and then we are operating the generation of 2021-2027 with a total budget of 2.5 billion euro. Those funds obviously are not easy to distribute, so the program is divided into three strands. Cultural strands, today in our focus, has to do with traditional cultural fields, a part of the audiovisual sector, then the media strand, the bigger one, which supports the audiovisual industry in its different branches, and the cross-sectorial strand. The general objectives of the program are to preserve existing European cultural and linguistic diversity, and the secondary objective is to increase the competitiveness and economic potential of the cultural and creative sectors, as well as the outreach to the countries outside of the European Union and Europe in general. The cultural strand, the first one, with around 33% of the 2.5 billion budget, has to do with mainly with European cooperation projects where different cultural organizations cooperate across the border and develop competitive and meaningful projects. Just here to say that the next call will be open around 10th of December with the deadline beginning of May. So all of you not planning to apply for translations and circulation of literary works might be interested in European cooperation projects, do contact Creative Europe Desk either in Cyprus or in any other country. Tonight's theme is the circulation of European literary works. A part of this strand supports European networks, European platforms, and pan-European entities. You might be hearing, you might know the European Union Youth Orchestra and similar organizations. The program supports around 40 European cultural networks that operates in many program countries and abroad. The second strand, the biggest one, has to do with the audiovisual industry. It is very similar to the book industry because it is a kind of built to support different segments of the value chain, and this is exactly what support for book industry is. In media strand, we have 4 so-called clusters. Those ones who support the high quality content, those ones who support the businesses, those ones who support audience development, online cinema and so on, and particular policy measures, including the European Audiovisual Observatory. So in media strand, this is just for you. You might know people from audiovisual sector who work in the films, television, video games, and augmented and virtual reality and so on, immersive content. Let them know that media strand is a great opportunity to thrive. Finally, cross-sectorial, the smallest strand, only 9% of the budget, has to do with the EU presidency events, support to European media desks, and one innovation. News media are part also of the Creative Europe program. Creative Europe is targeting the news media cooperation between journalists, promoting media literacy, and fighting fake news and so on and so on. So, program countries, as you can see from the picture, are all 27 EU member states plus EEA countries, Iceland, Norway, Liechtenstein, candidate countries, Western Balkans, and even Tunisia. And they are equal. They participate almost in all countries. So the program is kind of blind for if the organizations are coming from the EU member states or the program countries. It operates throughout the, let's say, European area. Now, the talk about circulation of European literary works, it is a part of culture strand, and this is our main dish for today. Too many texts. Let's say the basic idea is to try to overpass the difficulties in the European linguistic area and abroad regarding the book sector. Europe has many languages, and the books consumption is usually limited either to bestsellers, global bestsellers, or to our national languages. In order to thrive, in order to promote this vulnerable part of the cultural ecosystem, writers, translators, small publishers, the call for circulation of European literary works has been created. It also has to do with promoting reading, support to professionals like translators, all with a background idea that book sector should be more competitive and more present on the global stage. Particular attention should be given to Ukraine, Ukrainian language, Ukrainian culture, and Ukrainian refugees living abroad, but also to people staying in Ukraine, and all of them are part of the particular calls and many other calls by the Creative Europe program. So we have so-called overarching priorities. We were talking a little bit earlier about the role of women, equality. Equality is not only about binary categories, male, female. It also has to do with promoting equality. I would rather say unlocking the potential of diversity by participation and empowerment. Who said it is a bad word? LGBTIQ plus communities, national minorities, people with disabilities, or migrants and refugees, or any other obstacle to equal participation. EU greening efforts is horizontal priority. I think it was addressed many times today. Digital shift important. I think it is this year's theme. AI, how do we use it? What are the threats? How we face those threats and so on, as well as the strong support to Ukrainian artists and cultural organizations in order to participate in the European, how do we say word, Gigmeste in English. Thank you. Eligibilities. So it is not open for individuals. You have to be a legal entity established in either in EU member states or participating countries in the program, and EU bodies cannot be a part of consortium. You have to choose at the beginning either whether you will be going to application as a single entity or as a consortium where at least 2 entities should participate. Entities simply means companies or publishing companies in principle. Eligibility. Unfortunately, it is open only for the works of fiction. A colleague today asked why not academic books and so on. It has to do with the relative vulnerability of the creation of creators, of writers of the fiction, because it has been estimated that other part of publishing, other segments already do have audience and potential for income, while the fiction is the one the most weak in this ecosystem. Also, the works must not be already published, and even if this is the case, the previous translation should be very, very old. So there should be a need for the translation. We are talking about new projects. We are not talking about repeating the existing projects. Authors should be nationals or resident in program countries, eligible countries, and be a part of literary heritage. Cost related to the translation and publication rights. Oh, I have only one. Lovely. Okay, I will speed up. Are not eligible. Languages. We are talking about all officially recognized languages, plus Latin and ancient Greek. So, simply saying, for a package of minimum 5 books, you could apply for 60% of the budget, limited to 100,000 euros. For at least package of at least 11 books, you could apply to 200,000 euros, which is also 60% of the total budget. And the large scale has to do with the packages of 21 translations up to 300,000, and this is open only for consortiums. So 2 organizations plus should apply for this type of the projects. I don't think we have time for criteria, but the project needs to be meaningful, well thought, well developed, and have different components to have highly relevant and experienced translators. The organization should show the sound track of records of the previous works and so on. In the case that organization gets the grant, 80% is advance payment and 20% upon the acceptance of the deliverables. Where you can find this, there is something called Funding and Tenders Opportunities Portal. Internally we call it FTOP. I warmly recommend to search for it. Funding and Tenders Opportunities Portal. A few words about the next call. The call is open. It has been open it was open since 15th of October. The deadline is 11th of February. Evaluation should be done before summer, and then in the summer the contracts should be signed with those who are selected. Now you can indeed scan this QR code and it will take you to the book already funded by the Creative Europe program. It is a kind of compendium or brochure. And no more time, but let's just say that every year, with a budget of 6 million euro, around 500 books are translated, around 40 to 50 projects. Around 400 translators from at least 20 countries. These are results 21, 22, but most likely this number will increase for 23 and 24. And this is the QR code for the call. Do read the call document and get in touch with us if you need any clarification. Would be happy to apply since Cyprus so far, let's say, regarding this very call, did not, for some reasons, show really good performance. So we would like to join powers with you and work on the applications. Apart of this, the European Commission is providing a number of online tools, tutorials how to navigate through the funding and tender opportunities portal. Just a few words about Anna Lindh Foundation, because actually this will lead us to the forthcoming discussion. Anna Lindh is a foundation set up in Alexandria let's say, almost 20 years ago, dedicated to the intercultural dialogue. Everything started in Barcelona with so-called Barcelona process, when European countries and Southern Mediterranean countries decided a little bit to open up and create some joint structure for cooperation. So Anna Lindh was more initially about culture, education, civil society, and still is, youth, and so on. It now has 4,500 members in all 42 countries. So you coming from different countries might join your national network of Anna Lindh Foundation, which will lead you to numerous calls for proposals, networking possibilities, funding opportunities, collaboration synergies, as well as the capacity building. In Cyprus, we have 60 plus members, and our organization, as of May this year, is coordinating the national network. The third QR for today. One of the examples that our organization did was the training course on entrepreneurial, transversal, and digital skills done for 40 participants from Euromed area recently, and we will be meeting, and I'm extending an invitation for everyone here in Limassol in Panos Solomonidis Hall. Networking evening, 7 o'clock, 6th of December. The last is to invite you to follow our social media. We have 4 accounts: Creative Europe Desk Cyprus, Organization for European Programs and Cultural Relations, Serve Cyprus, Anna Lindh Foundation Cyprus Network. Would be happy to discuss with everyone afterwards about the details. So prepare your proposals, your book packages, 5, 11, and 21 at least, and try to get 100, 200, or 300,000 euro. Thank you so much.